Alright guys, I'm back. This is Westy, and this is going to be a root game I played with Matt Townsend. Matt is a 2011 national champion, and honestly, he's still one of the best players in the game. I think he's very underrated as a player, and definitely a force to be reckoned with. A lot of people chalked up his win back in 2011 as just being, first turn mayhems were broken back then. He got 6 of them, so he won. But um, I disagree with that. I think his deck was very uh, suitable for the metagame, and I'm not surprised he won. Um, yeah. So he puts down the gates of Jerusalem, and I'm hoping it's not a brown defense, because I used brown and then Garden Tomb wouldn't be very good. But then he puts down the Pharisees, so maybe I'll be okay. I'm not really sure I see the synergy between Gates of Jerusalem and Pharisees, but we'll see how it plays out. Here he plays Pretension for the draw, and that's all Pretension is really useful for. Sometimes it's nice to set aside a problem hero, or setting aside like a couple of angels, because angels absolutely destroy Pharisees. But yeah, not surprised he's playing it for the draw. I think that's the right move. He's putting down a few artifacts, and there's a King Rehoboam. So normally you wouldn't put in a Gates of Jerusalem for just one brown evil character. I'm guessing he has more. But at the same time, King Rehoboam is very good. You can combo it with like In the Clouds to make a nice infinite block. So maybe it is just for him, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for, because I want my Garden Tomb to work. But here, I'm putting down Garden Tomb, and it's not necessarily the safe play, because if he's using a Garden Tomb offense, I could be in some trouble. But again, if we're both using brown, we might be okay. I flip up Crown of Thorns to get rid of that Pharisees. Want to do that as soon as possible, just because, I guess. And then I'm going to put down Abigail and John. And this kind of sets it up so that if he mayhems me, I still have John and a Garden Tomb, so I can still make rescue attempts depending upon the defense. But here he goes, and still no Lost Souls out. And then he puts down a John, so apparently this is going to be maybe a Disciples Pharisees deck. It looks a little bit like that, so we'll just have to keep finding out. There's not a whole lot going on in these first couple turns, mainly because, well, there's nothing to do without any Lost Souls. And that's why I think Lost Soul generation right now is incredibly crucial, and not a lot of people are using it. They've chosen to forego that for more defense, but I'm not sure that's necessarily the right move. Because, again, like, the earlier you can rescue, the better. So this is only the second game I've played with this deck. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier. So I might make some misplays still. Gates of Samaria is definitely a deck that gives you a lot of options, and there's a lot of mistakes that can be made if you don't know how to play it, and I certainly don't. So here I'm just going to put down a few more characters, pass my turn, and he draws the Revealer, so this might get interesting. I do get the Cannot Be Prevented Lost Soul, so yeah, we might have a bit of a game here, actually. I don't really have much defense in my hand, but I do have Wickedness Abound, so I might be able to manipulate it so I get a draw 4, but that kind of depends on what his hand size is at the time. I honestly can't see down there. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this last time, but yeah, you put Revealer under the deck for whatever reason. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this last time, but my screen recorder cuts off the top and the bottom. Actually, I'm not sure it's my screen recorder. I think it's just iMovie in general. So sometimes it's really hard to see what's going on. But anyway, here he's going to put down King Manasseh, activate Magic Charm. So obviously he's playing a little bit more brown than I wanted to see. But I have gates Samaria. I'll hopefully be able to take care of that, no problem. King Manasseh is a king of Judah. Yeah, I've been saying kings of Israel, I think, this whole time. It's actually kings of Judah. I'm the one playing kings of Israel. But he's going to rescue with Philip, and this is pretty devastating to me. I don't really have anything that can stop Philip Bartholomew effectively, except for, like, Scattered. And I'm pretty sure his hand size is small enough that I'm not going to be able to play Wickedness Abounds. But we'll find out. Here, I'm considering going Zimri son of Salu to Foreign Wives to either pick off John or something like that. But I don't really want them dying off so soon if I don't draw anything. So I could also just give them the Lost Soul and hope that I get something to take out King Manasseh or King Rehoboam. So I can, well, really just King Rehoboam. Well, no, either works. Anyway, so I can walk in with Garden Tomb. But here, I am going to go with a Complainer's play. And I don't exchange because I figure Complainers is the most expendable evil character I can have. I do have less cards in my hand, apparently, because I'm looking at playing that Wickedness Bounce. And hoping to draw something, like a Scattered would be really nice here. Maybe like a Haman's Plot. And I do get that Scattered, actually. So that's really nice. I was able to underdeck a huge threat, and that was a very fortunate top deck. I don't play Korra's Rebellion in here. I probably should if I'm playing Cannot Be Prevented also, but it's just really tight on the space. So he puts down a James. This is obviously now a Disciples deck with a bit of an interesting defense. So here I do have Gates of Samaria, and I do have King Omri now. So I can start to pick off some characters. The issue is I don't really have a good option for who to pick off, I guess. John is a big threat, though, because John will negate King Omri, John will negate Zimri son of Salu. So I think it's best if I discard John here. I think what actually happens shouldn't happen. Once again, this was a long time ago. But I targeted King Manasseh, and King Manasseh is the king of Judah, so I can't target him. And so instead, I go with John, as I was talking about earlier. So Gates of Jerusalem is a very good protection fortress. Just straight up protects you from opponents. Not necessarily the best one to be playing with Disciples, because sometimes you want to protect yourself from your own discard. So like things like Assyrian Camp can be more effective in those situations. But here I'm going to rescue with Jotham, kind of my most expendable hero. I really want to save Peter and John for later on. And Abigail, I don't know, he might play Death of Unrighteous or something, but in the end, I think Jotham will be the least useful, considering he plays like Pharisees and stuff. Jotham's not very good against them. Although, could cause trouble for these kings. So, he's going to win the battle no matter what. Like, Matt's going to win the battle no matter what. He does have the magic charms. Unless he does something extremely silly, he's got this battle won. But I also kind of want to generate losses for the future, just in case, I guess. And ultimately, you have to make him use it at some point. So, why not make him use it right away, you know? For a second, I thought we might have disconnected, but then he just says, so I guess he's thinking. Um, yeah, there's nothing I can really do about magic charms. He has lampstand up, so I can't destruction it or anything, and he does end up just using magic charms. He might have wanted to use King Rehoboam and do some silly stuff with side battles and then use it before I can do anything. I honestly think I would have, um, because then he would have uh, at least gotten a draw one off Gates of Jerusalem, and could maybe draw one off like Peter and stuff, should he choose to control my Peter. But yeah, he decided, you know what, I'm not going to do any of that. Let's just use Magic Charms and capture King Jotham and John. And I think that ultimately was the play he was going to have to do. So here I am going to set aside Armory with Chemosh. I love Chemosh so much. It's not like groundbreaking card, but you know, with Broken Cisterns and Plagued with Diseases, I mean, you basically get to discard a hero per turn, oftentimes. So here he flips out Chariot of Fire, though. And that's really disappointing because I love running my opponent low on heroes. And not a lot of people play Chariot of Fire anymore. JDS, I know, played it in his Nationals deck, and it was pretty effective for him. It's actually two separate abilities in that it says to shuffle the deck after like returning the heroes to the draw pile from the discard pile, but the shuffle is not dependent upon that return. So like if you're, oh, I don't know, Philip and Bartholomew get underdecked by Scattered, you can still shuffle the deck even if you have no heroes in your discard pile. Of course, he does have John in his discard pile, so that's kind of irrelevant. But it can be a pretty useful card just for shuffling your deck with all the underdecking of Son of God with Sorrow of Mary and Vain Philosophy. JDS was really able to use it well from what I saw. And Chariot of Fire, you know, it might start finding its way back into decks if for no other reason than to shuffle your deck. So here he comes out with Andrew Banded to my Peter. I really don't like that. Because I like my Peter. You know, he's my only TGT hero left, so I'm going to just block with Complainers here, I think, which negates the band, indirectly negating the draw as well. And I don't think I exchange here, because I really just want to kill Andrew. I really want him dead, because I don't want him banding to my Peter anymore. But I do end up deciding to exchange, and I'm trying to figure out why I would do that. Yeah, I'm not totally sure why I would do that, because I think Andrew is the much bigger threat. But I guess I was hoping, you know, as long as I drop Broken Cisterns, I can just kill Andrew anyway. And ultimately, I can use Complainers to continually kill Andrew as long as I survive the battle. So he's going to play my Lord and my God, and that creates a huge mess with negating and all the exchanging and stuff. But he's actually considering, I think, discarding my Gates of Samaria so that that doesn't become a problem later on. My Lord and my God is one of the few cards that can discard Evil Fortresses that is commonly played. And I kind of jokingly around say, negate and discard Chemosh. You don't want that coming back. And it's one of those things that Chemosh is a silly card. But it can do a lot of damage, you know. It's going to be around for like 13 turns. So in the end, he does decide to go for Complainers. And I have Wickedness of the Tenants to interrupt and discard James. So we'll see if he has like a Reach of Desperation or something. But being he played my Lord and my God first, I wouldn't think he would have that. So I do get to discard him, and that works out quite well. So here he searches his discard pile, grabs those guys, and shuffles them back. I don't think I should have exchanged in the end, but I also didn't want him playing like Fishers of Men or something to start beating me by the numbers and make me waste an enhancement. I wanted to make him use his resources. But in the end, I don't think I should have exchanged. I think I should have tried to kill the Andrew right away. But if I can draw a Broken Cisterns, that'd be really, really nice. So here I draw King Hiram. That'll be fairly nice for searching out Throne of David, if need be.
I also get the King Ahab here. I pretty much have all of my fortresses out that I need to get out with King Ahab. I don't believe he can search good fortresses. But I will bench that King Hiram. It's kind of nice with Abigail. I might get a draw one. Kind of wish I had my King Jotham back so I could draw two. One of the main aspects of this deck is I really want to be fast. Because Gates of Samaria is normally not fast, and so that's how you kind of keep it up, is you get that speed flowing and it's really effective. I'm sorry if the audio like changed halfway through here. I started this project a long time ago, and I'm looking for new ways to procrastinate from school right now, so I figured I might as well continue on this project while I do not have internet to distract me. So I will rescue with Abigail here to draw one. And I get that 4-drachma coin, which is another great speed card for Peter. As far as speed goes, I have Throne of David, which is fantastic when they play Foreign Wives. I mean, right now my opponent has 3 Evil Brigades, so yeah, Throne of David is great. Abigail can draw. I think I just played 2 Warrior Class Heroes in this deck, but you know, if one's converted, I can draw 3 off of Abigail. And then I also have 4-drachma coin, Reach of Desperation, Prosperity, and Peter, and of course the Wickedness of the Tenants that we saw earlier, or Wickedness of Balance. I'm sorry, I always get those two mixed up. So here, we're kind of just talking about Chemosh, I guess. I guess I didn't do Chemosh during the upkeep phase. I had already put down King Hiram, and so I decreased myself anyway. But essentially, I was saying, you know, technically Andrew wouldn't be decreased because I missed it, and once you're past the phase, can't really go back. But Matt's a great guy, and he's like, nah, you can decrease me. He probably just wants a 3-1 hero anyway, and just using that to get a better initiative factor. So he is going to block King Rehoboam this time, getting a draw 1 off that Gates of Jerusalem, I believe. But he's saying he has no one to target. I think he could have taken Peter and King Hiram, but I don't think he wanted to give me either of them. Both of them are pretty useful for me, getting a draw a card or search out a fortress. And I could play Prosperity in the side battle. So that would have been very nice for me, and it's probably a good thing that he didn't do that. So here I am going to play Prosperity at draw 3. You see me get that Reach of Desperation, which would be very nice. But I'm just going to play the Angel of the Lord before he can do any shenanigans. This also puts him in a position where I can get rid of my complainers, and then he only has uh, one gray, one brown, and one pale green evil character in play, and so Garden Tomb might come into effect should I let my complainers die. So I am going to put down 4 Drachma Coin. Again, I really don't want to get mayhemmed. That's kind of always a fear on the back of my mind. I really don't like mayhem. And I also don't like Nazareth, because Nazareth ruins consistency and fun. And yeah, it's a terrible, terrible card. I hate it. So I'm kind of just stuck with playing my hand down so that mayhem doesn't wreck me. But I am going to put down King Ahab, just because I had to put down an evil character, and well, I guess I didn't have to, but I'm kind of showing it to him. Maybe, you know, making him think twice about putting down a Philip, because then it just takes Samaria and a Chemosh. It also helps if he would like convert somebody. He could convert his own King Manasseh and then go in with Garden Tomb. Although I don't think I've rescued a Lost Soul yet, so Garden Tomb isn't a factor. Oh well, all these things to be considered, and it's several months after I've played this game, and I don't know what was running through my head. But here he does have the Thaddeus. Thaddeus doesn't really scare me. It's only one Samaria and a Chemosh away from dying, so yeah, I'm not worried about Thaddeus at all. Normally though, Thaddeus is a very, very, very good card once you get all your disciples out, and especially in like a disciples mirror match, I feel. Even though my disciples have nothing to do with his. I don't know. It's just when 2 fast decks are against each other, Thaddeus can be the spoiler because there's nothing that can really block him. So he is going to play Fishers of Men here. That's that Lost Soul generation, but I remind him that he can't because of Darius's decree. So I think we were both very tired in this game, and you'll see a lot of plays that we play down and then we'll pick back up because of shenanigans going on. And yes, Matt, I am cool. I'm very cool. Me and Matt were pretty tight. So yeah, he's kind of griping about his current situation because, again, Gates of Samaria has a lot of board control where you can kind of trap them into situations, and he hasn't seen my hand. He has no idea how awful my hand is. Oh, I guess King Abijam could be my 3rd hero for Abigail. But here he's going to do Andrew Bandit to Peter, so I can't just kill him off of Abijam. I can't Foreign Wives him. I can't even Zimri Son of Salute him. But I could do my Complainers play again and not exchange and make him play something. But if I Vain Philosophy, I might be able to get rid of whatever he can play and get a block. The question is it worth it now, or should I save it for Son of God? And now I'm insulting my own namesake. And it's funny because Andrew normally is seen as a subpar card, but because he's banding to my Peter, I really don't want to kill my Peter. It's kind of an important hero, especially with my John being gone. I really want my Peter, so I'm going to play the Vain Philosophy here. Lampstand does not protect from that, and ooh boy, Son of God, Angel of the Lord, AOC. A lot of good options. It even has like the Gibeonite Trickery, the Haman's Plot, the Foreign Wives, Scribe, King Ammon. This is, wow, very good hand. He plays Gold Shield with his Pharisees. So yeah, definitely a full-fledged brown defense with maybe just a little bit of Pharisees for speed. That is quite an incredible hand. So, I think I said stacked down there. So I get rid of his Angel of the Lord because I really don't care about Son of God at this point. What I do care about is him being able to nuke uh, my guy. Although sometimes you can bluff with like getting initiative and then making them play it because they get scared. So I don't know. Might have wanted to do like Authority of Christ, but I'd rather have him play it and get rid of all of his evil characters. So uh, he goes to exchange, but of course I'm not exchanging because I'm baiting the AOC play. AOC would be great. He gets Lost Soul. All the evil characters are gone. I know he has like quite a few in his hand, but he actually makes a really good play here, and he plays Fishers of Men. Um, so he actually gets it in, and that was quite a nice Fishers of Men. I always just draw 3 so that you can see it. Otherwise, it takes way too long. So he hits a Grapes, he hits my Son of God, 2 Lustles, a couple of characters. Not really worried about that. A Samaria, another Lost Soul, and Christian Martyr. Wow, 3 dominance. That kind of sucks. I am at 57 cards, not at 58. I really don't like playing extra Lost Soul. It may let you get an extra Samaria site and an extra dominant, but I don't really feel the need for them. So here he's just deciding the order, and he's certainly happy with it. Of course, I'll probably put all the dominants on the bottom. So here, let's see. I think Fisher's Men is a 2/2 enhancement, so that still gives him initiative. Unfortunately. So here, just kind of stacking it up so you can see the order, making sure that's all right. I assumed you'd want Son of God on bottom, but yeah. This is one of those little tasks that would be so much easier if we had a better program for playing. Could just do that like automatically. That would be awesome. But I guess we'll just keep waiting. Waiting on the world to change. Waiting for pigs to fly. I don't even know. So yeah, it's still his initiative. He does play the Authority of Christ, all according to my plan. And I'm gonna have to give him the Lost Soul. He of course knows I don't have Christian Martyr in my hand because he just put it under the deck. So not much can get by that. But I'm okay with that because his Andrew's about to die if I want him to. And I still have tons of evil characters in my hand. Problem is, he has such a good hand. But, you know, sometimes that can come back to bite you. You end up getting all your good cards early and you fizzle out. It's happened to me far too often. Far, far too often. But of course, he does have the King Ammon. And his King Rehoboam is dead. I think killed that with Angel of the Lord. But he doesn't bench anything else. I gotta stop calling it benching. I'm sorry, guys. Pocket problems. It's a much more efficient term for putting down the territory. So he puts his King Ammon down. And yeah, so he's protected from Garden Tomb this way. It's not like I can discard it because the Gates of Jerusalem. But I also can't kill my own King Ahab. That's not the way that Gates of Jerusalem really works. I wish I could just activate Crown of Thorns, but the problem is he doesn't have to block with King Ammon. I know he has like Foreign Wives in his hand, among other things. Well, I guess if I had Rescue with Peter, he couldn't block with Foreign Wives. But he could block with any other brown character. But I am going to take the chance to play Broken Cisterns. Great card. I feel like a lot of people forget that it also negates draw abilities, which is really quite good. You get it early. I kind of mentioned that instead of using Chemosh to kill Andrew, I probably should just play the Broken Cisterns. I didn't think very far ahead, but I don't know. Decreasing Thaddeus or Thomas kind of scares me. Never know. Never know what's around the corner. But I could have killed Thaddeus with Chemosh and Gates of Samaria or Thomas. Of course, he could have just gotten back with Chariot of Fire. But maybe I'll just wait until I have Dawn to kill it. So I am going to activate Crown of Thorns. And that kind of puts him in a interesting position. I'm trying to think of the other evil character he has in his hand. The main thing here is he can't block with anybody but Brown. Oh, except I rescued with Abigail. Now I haven't drawn enough cards for Foreign Wives to take effect. So, boy, I'm trying to think of what his other evil character was. I got a phone call and had to pause it. But I did draw that Destruction to Houston, actually, which will be very nice for when he tries to shuffle back all his heroes with Chariot of Fire. I can start whittling those down. Disciples play so many, though. It's very hard. So here he is going to block with Foreign Wives. But I get initiative. No, I don't. No, I don't, because Crown of Thorns is activated. So yeah. So when I did the math, I forgot that it would give him initiative. So he can just give you Night Trickery me and make Abigail even more of a defensive beast. Or he could Haman's Plot me and get rid of some things, but he's just going to trigger me. So I'll put 416, because why not? I always think the note function is kind of funny. I like when they convert it. If they convert, let's say one of my guys to red, I'll put in a line from Red and Black from Les Mis. The blood of angry men. Never doing that again. Singing, that is. So here, I'm considering killing Foreign Wives. Because she is of Israel and not of Judah. But I could also hit Thaddeus. So I'm going to go with 5, so. And I fixed my math there. I need to play down another one. I'm kind of holding Zimri and Foreign Wives as a wild card play. But I also want to hold King Abijam as a wild card play. So I just passed my turn. I'm apparently not as afraid of Mayhem. He may have already played Mayhem. I don't know. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm really terrible at this whole thing. But I'm trying, okay? So, he draws female only Wassel. Probably won't play a big factor in this game. He has 2 of my heroes captured. Likely doesn't have anything to start shuffling them back. Not worried about that. I really kind of hope he does go for the Chariot of Fire play here, because I'd really like to Destruction that. And he does something interesting and plays Son of God, but I don't know exactly what went on there. He played Son of God and rescued the Exchanger Lost Soul. Trying to think of why he would do that. I'm sure he had a reason. He's a very smart player. So here I'm getting set up, and this can be a very scary thing. I have the Broken Cisterns down there. I should really play Holy Grail in this deck. It works out very nicely with Broken Cisterns because you can add more brigades to their territory and create lots of problems. And we like problems here at Chemosh City, at the gates of Israel. So I play King Amaziah too. I have plenty of warrior class heroes. I don't know what I was thinking earlier. I could do a cool play here with like King Amaziah and choosing King Ahab and banning in a lot of heroes, and then he can't Haman's plot me to win the battle. But that doesn't really seem good, you know? It's one of those things that I know I'll get to play first, and Brown doesn't really have a lot of interrupt options. Wickedness of the Tenants is, of course, its best option. I'm just kind of considering my options here. So I do go out with King Hiram, just to draw a card because I already have all 4 of my fortresses. Hit the Revealer. I'm gonna have to do that. Now here, I think I actually forgot the other evil character in his hand. And I mean that like while I was playing, as well as right now. But it ends up playing a big factor because I think I could have just rescued with Peter and I would have been fine. It's one of those things that he can't block with King Ammon because of Crown of Thorns. But King Manasseh is in the discard because of the authority of Christ. I said King Rehoboam earlier. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know cards. So he's going to draw his card off Gates of Jerusalem. He's going to get back that Gibeonite trickery. And kind of asking here if Crown of Thorns or Throne of David activates first. And I would think Crown of Thorns activates first, but we don't really know. It's one of those things that I could play like Unified Kingdom, abandon a bunch of warrior class characters that I'm hiding in my hand, and Abigail and Peter, and do a lot of awesome stuff. Like draw, or not Peter, just Abigail. But I could still do some pretty cool stuff, like draw a couple cards. Oh, no, I do make the logical argument in my in the chat box there, and basically the triggered effect happens right away. Crown of Thorns waits for all abilities to complete. I think that's right, so that's how we're going to play it. Because like as soon as King Ammon is done activating, Crown of Thorns triggers before game rule can take effect. So here, now, Scribe and Proud Pharisee. Okay. And Matthew, Peter, John. Well then. And of course Haman's Plot and Gold Shield. Not liking that. The good thing is he's got to be running low on brown characters right now. So, I get to search my deck, and I'm mainly just doing that so I can shuffle it. and I was kind of surprised at how much of my deck I had drawn through. Um, and I chose not to put the King Abijam into battle because that's still kind of a wild card that I really enjoy. And it's kind of part of the reason why I built this deck is because it's a cool card and it seems like it'd be fun to play. So unfortunately, Foreign Wives ended up becoming the popular draw counter. I would have loved to sing King Abijam instead, but it has worse problems like not being cannot be negated, win everything. So here I do have 9 cards. Question is, do I keep Foreign Wives in my hand or do I put down my King Abijam? I'm just trying to decide here which one is the better surprise play. Foreign Wives creates a big problem with Garden Tomb, because then he can use all of his cool Pharisee stuff, and that's not so cool. So I decided to go with King Abijam here. I think that's definitely the right play. I put him as evil because it's way better as evil, especially with like Gmosh picking off at his guys. Pretty soon it can, like right now, Simon the Zealot is very easy to kill, but he's kind of overloading me with characters. And oh, there's the 4-drachma coin. And yeah, Thaddeus is going to be really good. And Philip and Bartholomew are going to be really good, especially against that Gibeonite trickery. So I'm a little bit worried here. King Abijam is really good right now. Like he's drawn 7 cards, so I can decrease some of these 7. But that doesn't really help me because Gibeonite trigger is my only evil enhancement, so that's not very good on King Abijam. But I do have Zimri Senesalu to Foreign Wives. So in addition to getting a pick off, like John or Simon the Zealot, I can also get a block. Oh, and here, oh yeah, so I actually remembered, Matt didn't, but he has Broken Cisterns in his territory, and that negates draw abilities, like I mentioned earlier. Really good card. It even negates 4-drachma coin. Look at that. I'm pretty sure it negates Gates of Jerusalem too, and we haven't been playing it that way. So, yeah, very good card. And now, I don't know what. Oh, I threw down King Abijam with Crown of Thorns up. And yeah, you can't really do that. So discarded King Abijam, and yeah, kind of wishing I put him as a hero now. So here I'm just going to Gmosh Thaddeus because with all those disciples down, I'm a little bit concerned. Everybody's only decreased by 0.2. But here I have Samaria site, so I'm kind of deciding, do I want to just kill Thad? I'd probably just want to kill Thaddeus. John is another really big threat. And I could also save it for when Philip and Bartholomew hit the field, because like with Bartholomew out there, it's one of those things that I can just Gmosh it, have Broken Sisters down, and put 1 Samaria, and it's dead. And I would really like that because I can't do anything against them, except for Haman's plot. So here I rescue with Peter. He has to block with Brown. I know he only has Scribe and Proud Pharisee in his hand, so that's a pretty good rescue. Alternatively, he could just play Christian Martyr, I guess. And he's complaining about Crown of Thorns. He couldn't really block with Pharisees anyway. But maybe he has another brown, like Uzzah, probably. Probably Uzzah. Uzzah would be fine. Yeah, so I get the lost soul. Now I'm going to put down a Samaria and make my King Ahab really beefy. It's one of those things that, like, after a point, King Ahab doesn't have to worry about anything. Like, it's just like his numbers are so superfluous, you know. The thing is Bartholomew Thad. He's the one thing that can get up there with Give Me a Night Trickery. Problem is my Jezebel got put to the bottom, and I never really got it back. Jezebel is very nice in this deck with Zimri Senesalu and with King Ahab. Really like that addition. And you can even play like a little bit of Canaanites in here. Because I mean, I already have Foreign Wives too with Zimri Senesalu, and just because Foreign Wives is, well, Foreign Wives. So here I'm starting to run into the problem of I have 5 dominants in my hand. I really don't want to use any of them. But it's one of those things that I also am getting down to the end of the game. So I don't really think I need my Destruction Nahushin anymore, because if he shuffles it back, it's going to be too late for him anyway. I would rather get the rescues at this point in the game. It's just a matter of prioritizing things. Here, boy, I'm in a very good position at this point. I don't know the lost soul count, but as far as board position goes, I definitely have the upper hand in offensive capabilities. I'm almost through my entire deck, so this Vain Philosophy doesn't make a big difference to me. He has already played his Son of God, and he played it without New Jerusalem, which is kind of odd to me. But I know I talked to him afterwards, and it did make sense. So he's taking a look at my hand. He might actually want to put the Grapes of Wrath underneath, because if he comes out with Philip Bart, he forces me to play both Christian Martyr and Give You Night Trickery, but he sticks with the Son of God, and that's kind of the classic play. It's not always the best play, but generally it's the safe play. So, let's see here. Garden Tomb doesn't really play a factor. I have Foreign Wives out and all of my brown guys. I guess if like I had Jezebel in my hand, he could make me not be able to block with Jezebel. But here he goes Thomas Matthew, and that's one of those bands that you generally don't see, because I mean Matthew's really good and Thomas is kind of just okay. Don't read the chat box. So here, I'm trying to think of how I want to handle this. I could just go big with Ahab, but I think I'll do my fun little trick with Zimri, and that can help set me up like 5-5 and 6-6. It's 11-11. They're at what 14-14. So then my Give Me Night trigger is 04. I'd be 15 on defense, so I do get the stalemate, and I get to pick off like John in their territory. And my Chumash can pick off Simon the Zealot at any time, and that's kind of really great, because then he only has 3 characters, and I have Christian Martyr, and I can get rid of another one. There's just a lot of evil things you can do with this type of a control defense. But then I realized that I have Crown of Thorns activated, and so that plan kind of failed. Um, so both of us don't really like Crown of Thorns right now. It's one of those things that I think he would be able to put down some gray evil characters, but he can't because of Crown of Thorns. They'll just get discarded right away. And that's a rather unfortunate thing. And by unfortunate, I mean wonderful. But here, it's probably going to make me play Christian Martyr. But if I play Christian Martyr, then I still don't really have the defenses to get up there. Because it'll be 7-7 against my like 5-2, 6-3. And I need 4 defense in order to be able to take them on. Huh. So I am going to stick with Zimri to Foreign Wives, and I'm going to continue hating my activation of Crown of Thorns, even if it's the right play. So I'm going to decrease. Let's find out here. This is kind of fun. This is me watching a game that I played a long time ago. So I'm going to kill John. And I like that play. I feel like I'm not complimenting myself here, guys. So don't take this wrong, because it's not about me complimenting myself. This is about me analyzing my past plays. But I'm really in a tight situation here. Matt did an excellent play with that band, something that's not generally a frequently played thing. Generally, you'll see like just Thomas or just Matthew, but Thomas and Matthew together is interesting. But here, I am going to play my Grapes of Wrath. Told you should have underdecked it. Yes, I talk directly to Townsend sometimes. I have a little man in my head that I name Matt Townsend. That got weird. So I am going to play my Grapes of Wrath, and I believe we're tied with Fossils right now. I think it's 2-2. So I'm just going to Christian Martyr the next guy, because I don't know fully why. Because I didn't want to lose my King Ahab. It's one of those things that I can kill off Simon the Zealot this turn and just wipe him with heroes. And he's not very happy about that. So, oh, and look at that. I redrew my Zimmer Son of Salu. If only I could get my Jezebel. But I also have a Samaria. So I can wipe his territory of characters. And he didn't remember it being in my hand. It wasn't that. It was all an illusion. I cheated, as you guys all saw. That's another great thing about videos. Like, you can catch a lot of cheaters on video. That's something Pokemon has been able to do a lot. Is like by rewatching videos, you'll notice like some sleight of hands or some shady shuffling and things like that. And oftentimes in a tournament, you're doing your own thing, and so you don't notice what other players are doing. But online, it's a little bit different, and this is a little bit on your honor. But yeah, I'm not a cheater. So I do wipe his territory of characters, and now I'm going to get rid of that Crown of Thorns and do 4 Drachma Coin. I can draw the rest of my deck, so I can get Son of God. I think that's the rest of my deck. If not, it's extremely close. And I have Uzza, I have Zimri to Jezebel, I have Jeering Use to give me trickery. All sorts of great options. And he doesn't have any characters. And this is exactly how the deck plays out ideally. is I get to a point where I just have everything going, and he doesn't. So I'm gonna play Son of God NJ um, on the two-liner, and I'm playing that beforehand because he could like theoretically block with. Well, I'm gonna rescue TGT. Um, but oh, I'm playing that so he doesn't bury it. That's what I'm doing. Uh, so he says good game there because that was his only his last hope, and Garden Tomb Gates wins another game. Keep on moving up in root. This was a very good game, and again, like this is ideally how the deck plays out. Is I get my speed going, I get through the deck, and pretty soon I just control the board state, and my opponent is in unideal positions. So here he's showing me his hand, and yeah, that's not pretty. Uh, good game, Matt. I love you. You know that. I'll tell the little man that you said hi, even if you didn't. If you have a little man in your head named Andrew Wester, tell him I say hi, and that he's a cool guy, but not as cool as Matt Townsend. Thanks for watching, guys.